What I am going to do is I'm going to start by reading an excerpt from one of my favorite books. It's called The Greatest Salesman in the World. Anybody read that book? If you read The Greatest Salesman in the World, put a one in the chat. That's a great book. So I got a lot of my mindset directly from that book, and it's an amazing book. So I'm just going to read this excerpt really quick. So what I'm going to read to you all is about persistence. So on scroll mark 3, he talks about persistence. The chapter is called, or the scroll is called, "I Will Persist Until I Succeed." So a lot of us got the motivation. What we need now is the discipline and the persistency to keep going, even when it seems like things are dying down, even when it seems that things are tough, even when it seems that you're having technical difficulties or you're having frustrations or you're trying to get this finance thing down and you've never done it before and it seems like it's a whole new world for you. When that happens, what you need is just to realize that many of failures, people who fail more than others, are the people who win, the people who struggle and keep pushing on despite the adversity. Those are the people who win. So this scroll is called "I Will Persist Until I Succeed." I will persist until I succeed. In the Orient, young bulls are tested for the fight arena in a certain manner. Each is brought to the ring and allowed to attack the picador who pricks them with a lance. The bravery of each bull is then rated with care according to the number of times he demonstrates his willingness to in charge in spite of the sting of the blade. Henceforth, I will recognize that each day I am tested by life in like manner. If I persist, if I continue to try, if I continue to charge forward, I will succeed. I will persist until I succeed. I was not delivered into this world in defeat, nor does failure course in my veins. I am not a sheep waiting to be prodded by my shepherd. I am a lion, and I refuse to talk, to walk, to sleep with the sheep. I will hear not those who weep and complain, for their disease is contagious. Let them join the sheep. The slaughterhouse of failure is not my destiny. I will persist until I succeed. I will persist until I succeed. The prizes of life are at the end of each journey, not near the beginning. It is not given to me to know how many steps are necessary in order to reach my goal. Failure I may still encounter at the thousandth step, yet success hides behind the next bend in the road. Never will I know how close it lies unless I turn a corner. Always will I take another step, and if that is to no avail, I will take another and yet another. In truth, one step at a time is not too difficult. I will persist until I succeed. Henceforth, will I consider each day's effort as but one blow of my blade against a mighty oak. The first blow may cause not a tremor in the wood, the second, nor the third. Each blow of itself may not do much and seem of no consequence, yet from childish swipes, the oak will eventually tumble. So it will be with my efforts of today. I will be likened to the rain drop which washes away the mountain, the ant who devours a tiger, the star which brightens the earth, the slave who builds a pyramid. I will build my castle one brick at a time, for I know that small attempts, repeated, will complete any undertaking. I will persist until I succeed. I will never consider defeat, and I will remove from my vocabulary such words and phrases such as "I quit," "cannot," "unable," "impossible," "out of the question," "improbable," "failure," "unworkable," "hopeless," and "retreat," for they are words of fools. I will avoid despair, but if this disease of the mind should infect me, then I will work on in my despair. I will toil and I will endure. I will ignore the obstacles at my feet and keep my eyes on the goals above my head. For I know that where dry desert ends, green grass grows. I will persist until I succeed. I will remember the ancient law of averages and I will bend it to my good. I will persist with knowledge that each failure to sell will increase my chances for success the next attempt. Each no I hear will bring me closer to the sound of yes. Each frown I meet only prepares me for the smile that's to come. Each misfortune I encounter will carry in it the seed of tomorrow's good luck. I must have I must have the night to appreciate the day. I must fail often to succeed only once. I will persist until I succeed. I will try and try and try again. Each obstacle I will consider as a mere detour to my goal and a challenge to my profession. I will persist and develop my skills as the mariner develops his by learning to ride out the rafts of each storm. I will persist until I succeed. Henceforth, will I learn and apply another secret of those who excel in my work. When each day is ended, not regarding whether it has been a success or failure, I will attempt to achieve one more sale. When my thoughts beckon on my tired body homeward and I will resist the temptation to depart. I will try again. I will make one more attempt to close with victory. And if that fails, I will make another. Never will I allow any day to end with failure. Thus will I plant the seed of tomorrow's success and gain an insurmountable advantage over those who seize their labor at a prescribed time. When others seize their struggle, mine will begin, and my harvest will be full. I will persist until I succeed. Nor will I allow yesterday's success to lull me into today's complacency, for this is the great foundation of failure. I will forget the happenings of the day that is gone, whether they were good or bad, and greet the new sun with confidence that this will be the best day of my life. So as long as there is breath in me, that long will I persist. For now I know that one of the greatest principles of success, if I persist long enough, I will win. I will persist. I will win. That is a scroll from the greatest salesman in the world. I will persist until I succeed. Look, we're going to go through some challenges, you all, but the challenges are built to make you stronger. They are built to build your character. They are built to get you to the next level. They're the building blocks of success. I cannot tell you, I did 8 figures last year. I cannot tell you how many times I failed. I cannot tell you how many times I attempted to do something and it didn't work out the way I thought that it was going to work out. I cannot tell you the investments that I made that didn't work. I can't tell you how many times I've lost money attempting to do something, but the difference between me and a lot of people is that I didn't take that failure to be an end. I took that failure to be a lesson. And that is what many of us, the difference between the ultra successful and the ones who are not, is literally not that they don't fail, that they don't experience obstacles. The ones who experience those obstacles and quit, they end up staying in the same situation. The ones who experience those obstacles and they keep going, just like the sting of that bull. Think about that. I want y'all to think about that illustration. This bull is running to a picador, and every single time he misses, and he's going to miss almost every time, but every time he misses, it's a sting that actually hurts. They experience that sting, and then they go back and do the same thing over. They do the same thing over. We experience sting one time and we want to quit. Or we use words such as, this ain't for me. I'm frustrated. Can't do it. Won't do it. Maybe it's not. Maybe this isn't. Maybe I'm too young. Maybe I'm too old. Maybe this is. And we start to think of every single limiting belief that's possible. But I want you all to understand that your limitations, you're the only one who set your limitations. Let me tell you what's holding many people back in this room. What's holding you back is fear. It's fear of yourself, fear of what you're actually capable of. So the minute you start experiencing some kind of success, what we do is we revert back and we self-sabotage ourselves and we start speaking negatively without realizing that every single thing that we say to ourselves affects our situation. There is nothing that happens in our reality that did not first come from a thought that was in our head or from a subconscious belief that we held on to. So what I'm going to do, my inspiring lesson for you today before we start teaching, my inspiring lesson for you today is, look, you all, it's a journey. Take one step. That's it. All you got to do is take one step. Don't recognize failure. There is no such thing of failure unless you quit. Feel frustrated. Do it anyway. Acknowledge your feelings. Give yourself about 5 seconds, no more than 5 minutes to feel whatever way you feel. and keep going because we are humans. We do have emotions. I do understand that, but don't get stuck in it, right? So we're going to persist. This will be your year that you turn your financial situation either around or you expand what you've already built more than you ever know. And let me tell you, you know how I know when you're about to experience a big breakthrough? You know breakthroughs, you got to pay for breakthrough. I don't know if you know that. Breakthrough happens when it seems that all things around you are going bad. When it seems like everything that you're working on is, it's like, what the hell is going on? It's an attack. Why are you getting attacked at a time when you should be at your best? You're getting attacked because the enemy knows what you're about to accomplish. And it ain't even an enemy sometimes. We want to put everything on the enemy. Sometimes it's actually God who's allowing you to go through things because they know that in order for you to get to that next level, you're going to have to go through just a little bit more to prepare you for the battle that's to come when you get to that next level. So we looking at everything like, oh man, what's happening? What's happening? If you got presented, let's just say we talking about wealth. Let's just say you got all of this money that we want, and you didn't have to go through anything to get it. You're gonna lose it because you're not gonna be ready for it. Your mind wasn't ready for it. Your mind has to prepare for it. Let's just say your business just triples. Well, that's great. But if you didn't have the right infrastructure in your head, if you didn't go through growing pains that you had to fix, then there's no way you're going to be able to sustain what your purpose is on those particular things. So that's why the Bible says, count it all joy. You got to count it all joy when you fall into these different situations and these different trials and these tribulations, because it is those trials that test your faith to make sure that you're ready for the next level. So you can keep repeating the same test over and over and over and over. Some people have been repeating the same test for their whole life. And they never realize that it's a test because they never acknowledge that it's a test, but instead they complain. And when they complain, all they do is they attract more of the same. But if we just see that trial coming and we turn it around and we say, this must mean something good about to happen in my life. There's no way I'm getting tested like this without me being prepared for something else. You know, earlier this year, you all, it looked crazy because it looked like my business was falling apart. My financial firm, because we've had employees who worked on my team for like literally, you know, hold on, somebody needs to mute themselves. I'm in the good part. Don't talk yet. All right. So it looked like things were going crazy. Can you mute everybody, Jab? The person probably not listening to himself talking right now. Okay, cool.
You're on mute, Marvin.
Still muted. There we go. It looked like things were falling apart. I've had the same amount of people on my team for 5, 6, 7 years. Everything was great. We ended up losing one person, and quite frankly, it caused a domino effect. We ended up losing 2 people. I had to let somebody else go. Before you know it, they were friends. So I had about maybe 13 people on my team, and I ended up going down to like 6. We lost 7 people in about a 2-month stretch. So, and one of our best key employees was on maternity leave. So, and that was going on while she was still on maternity leave. So, and one of the people I had to let go at the very end had been with me for 7 years. One of the toughest, agonizing decisions that I had to make, you know, in my life. But it had to happen because the business was struggling from that particular leadership. So while this was happening, I never lost confidence. I never lost faith. I said, I know you're doing the work. Something good is happening. We making room. We making space for some A players to join this team. You know, I'm trying to keep the morale up, and people, the team, they worry. They're like, what's going on? What's going on? But I'm like, oh no, this is good. This is good. This is you know, it's all part of was ordained to happen. It's going to be okay. You'll watch it. So we rebuilt the team quickly. I spent the last 3 months, and it was sacrifice. I want y'all to understand the sacrifice. Now, keep in mind, and I talk about this, I teach on this, right? And it also exposed some flaws that I had in my business. I teach on being able to walk away from your business and the business still continues to grow without you, not being tied to your business. So I lived that life for 3 years where I wasn't doing, where I was leading the business, but I wasn't in the day to day. I wasn't doing appointments. I really experienced what freedom was. I mean, I was traveling everywhere, like all around the world, speaking at every opportunity I could speak at. And people like, how are you running a multi-million dollar business and you never working in the business? I mean, I was working on the business. People couldn't see that. I just wasn't working in the business. Now, when this happened, and one of the people was one of my key advisors, I had to sacrifice and stop all of that extracurricular activity that I was doing and focus on getting back into the business. And I started having to humble myself and do all the same thing, helping with paperwork, doing appointments again. Like, and believe me, it was dreadful. I freaking hated it. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to deal with no paperwork. I like people, but I don't like y'all that much. I don't want to meet with nobody no more. Like, I just didn't want to do any of it. But let me tell y'all what it did. It exposed some cracks in our service that I didn't know about until I had to step in and see it. It also showed me a different case study on what was going through, that the closing rate could still be high. It showed me some ways to train a new sales team. And I was doing all of that and recruiting at the same time and building my team and doing everything that I needed to do to get my team in place. And I got my team in place. But guess what? Just because I got a team in place, which took a lot, guess what else has to happen? Now all those team members have to be trained the right way. So me knowing that it's going to be at least 3 to 6 months before I can even think about stepping away again was the most mentally draining thing that I thought that I would have to do. And keep in mind, I'm still running Wealth Creators, and Wealth Creators is still growing like crazy. And I'm still on meetings with Wealth Creators and on meetings with my Compass team and doing all of this at the same time. My hours were basically gone. So what I decided to do, I said, you know what? There's a seed. Every adversity is a seed to success. So I looked at this adversity to my benefit. I said, I'm going to be able to pick A players. I'm going to be able to rebuild the culture. I'm going to be able to sales train the way that I know. I've been doing this, kid you not, for the last couple months. I've been doing training myself 2 hours a day with my team, just role playing, just making sure we got everything together. I took them on a trip, a 2 or 3 day conference where all we did was we just role played and studied and talked about different concepts. But I've built such a good, strong team now. Now, instead of being at 13 down to 7, we're all the way back up to 15 now. So we have even more than what we had before. And everybody that's on my team is 8 players right now. So the stuff that we've been able to accomplish, you all, what was supposed to be one of my biggest challenges where people were looking at me, waiting on me to fail. You know, when you can see the old employees that never watch your stories, all of a sudden they coming on watching every story, trying to see what's going on around the office, keeping tabs because they was like, I know he ain't gonna make it because he ain't got us. See, people think they're not replaceable. But what I was able to do is this year, I'm having my best year ever in the midst of all of that. I've already grossed over 6 million for the year, and we're what in May? We're still in May, over 6 million. Now, here's the crazy thing about that: because of the rebound, because I was able to rebuild, my profit margin has been over 75%. So 6 million with a $4.75 million profit. That's money, cash money. Why? Because sometimes there can be addition by subtraction. Sometimes when you lose something, you really win it and you just don't know you're winning. Sometimes when you have to go through an obstacle, it's setting you up for success. So what the enemy meant for your harm is actually setting you up for good. And sometimes when you're going through it, it seems like, man, it's like, why is all this happening to me? What's going on? But you're going to look back on it and you're going to be like, now I see why that happened. Because if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be doing this. If that didn't happen, now I know how to step away from the business the right way this time. Now I know the next time I step away from the business, we having contingencies in place, we having systems, we having backup, we having this. What if this happens? What if that happens? We building those stronger people in those particular areas. I'm getting more advisors just in case we lose one. We got two more backups. So now I'm at a stronger level. And guess what? I'm back at it. Like this, I just left back from Hawaii for a few days. Went to Hawaii, did a party in Atlanta, back in St. Louis now. Next month, I'm going to the Philippines. Um, I'm going to the Philippines. I'm going to Rome. I'm going to Cancun. So I'm back at my traveling ways, but now I'm doing it in a way that I know the leadership team is in place. And you got to learn these things, and some of the stuff you can only learn through experience. So why do I say all of this and why is this important to you? It's important to you because it doesn't matter how well I teach or what I teach. If you don't build up your mindset, if you don't build up your ability to be disciplined and to continue to walk through adversity with your head held high, if you don't understand how to continue to talk positive things to yourself and hold your mind captive, if you don't understand those things, and at the first sign of defeat, you retreat, it don't matter what I teach you. It don't matter what anybody teach you. Because at some point you have to realize that if you go from a place to place and something didn't work and something didn't work, at some point you have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, is the problem really me? And in fact, I want you to look in the mirror and say, yes, the problem is me. Why? Because when you take 100% responsibility for something, then you can change it. When I take responsibility for a student not succeeding in my program, when I take responsibility for even losing those many peoples. Now I own it. And when I own it, I can say, okay, great. I take responsibility for that. But now I know because I take responsibility, can also take responsibility for making the change. I might get the blame, but I'm also, to me, gonna get my own credit. Nobody got to give me credit. Why? Because it's all about you on the inside. It ain't about what nobody else think. We're not doing this for anybody on the outside. We're not doing any external competition. All we're doing is we're working on ourselves, and our mission in life is no longer just to get money. Money is fine. I know we're in a wealth creators webinar. I mean, it's in a circle. That's fine. But you know what's more important? Us seeking and searching and finding our inner peace. What's that peace that passes all understanding? What's that peace when it seems that everything is going wrong around you, that you can still smile and people can say, you're going through all of this, why are you still smiling? That peace that passes all understanding, because when you get that purpose and when you get that peace, the money is going to come anyway. That's the secret. Like realizing that you're already enough. You're already enough. You have everything that you need already to succeed. You have everything that you need to go to the next level. So instead of searching for external things, let's focus on internal things. Let's focus on making sure that we're meditating. We're doing affirmations. We're working on our subconscious mind. We're working on ourselves. We're building. We're growing. We're reading. We're holding each other accountable because when two or three people are gathered together, he is in the midst, right? Masterminding. We're not trying to do it ourselves. These are the type of principles that people don't realize. It's so much more than just steps on how you're going to get money. Because when you think about it, the thing about it is when you manifest something and you dream about it and you visualize it, one of the second biggest secrets is the details don't matter yet. The details don't matter. Too many people focus on the details when they don't focus on the concept of their visualization and what they're actually affirming to themselves. Because there's been so many things that I had no idea how I was going to do something. I mean, think about it. I'm letting go. I had to let go of a person who had been with me for 7 years. It was my director of operation, while my second in line to take over that position is on maternity leave. And those are my two key people in operations, and my people still need to be served. And our clients, we're getting more call volume than ever, and our clients are expecting good service. Like, how am I going to go through that and does it make sense to like let somebody go in the midst of this? And I had to walk by faith. I couldn't see it. It didn't make sense. But my vision of having a better service model, having a better leadership, making sure that we went and we expanded and we had the ability to scale. That was my vision. That's what I was affirming. So I was going to figure out the details. And because I always said that, ideas came to my head. I can be sleeping. I can be sleeping and I would wake up with an idea. And when I would have that idea, it was like, man, okay, so I'm going to maneuver this. I'm going to change this. Like, I'm going to change our quarterly meeting in 2 weeks. I'm going to plan this in 2 weeks. This person's going to come back maternity leave. I'm going to prepare her for when she gets back, that she's going to be able to step into this role. I'm going to hire somebody else. I'm going to hire somebody from the Philippines because they're going to come in, and I'm going to make sure I find somebody who can do HR where I never had to worry about any of that internally, but I can focus on that with somebody who I know that I can work with on a one-on-one individual basis. I'm gonna prepare that person, pay them really, really well. I'm going to make sure that I talk to Jab and get wealth creators all done because I know I'm not going to be spending as much time as I was doing it. So I got to make sure the infrastructure is right. I'm going to find out who we need to hire. I'm going to bring a coach on the team that can help assist and lift people up. And we officially brought on Coach Rosie. She's been a student for a long time. And Coach Rosie is going to be somebody who I trust is going to be able to take over a lot of those things. So when you give yourself less time, it's crazy. We all say we need more time. But one of the secrets is actually when you're forced to give yourself less time, but you think you can actually accomplish a lot more because we tend to take as long as we think it's going to take us to do. If we have a week to do something, we're going to be on day 6 trying to put something together for the 7th day. But if we only have one day to do it, we're going to figure out, well, I can't do this just off my effort. I'm going to need some help. I'm going to need a team, and I'm going to need to get this done. And we're going to get done in a day what we can in a week. Look at what we did last week, you all. This whole blueprint, this whole financial freedom calculator that we created. Do you know we've been talking about this for 3-4 months now? We've been talking about this for 3-4 months. We would keep talking about it in meetings over and over and over. Guess what? Never got any traction. Never got any traction on doing it, getting it done. It took me to put a line in the sand and say, we got to have this done in 3 days. By Friday, it was Tuesday. I said, by Friday, this needs to be done. And guess what? The team stepped up. Guess what? Jab said, you know what? I need to bring on some help. We hired a guy named John who's doing great. Yuki is a person who we hired recently. She stepped up. So it gave people the opportunity to step up because Jab couldn't do it by himself in a day or two with everything that was going on. So Jab stepped up and said, I need a team. I need to make sure that we get this done. And guess what? It got done. So what is it that you're procrastinating on? What is it that you're frustrated about that you really just need to walk into the destiny and just say, enough is enough. I'm going to act now. I'm going to get this done by any means necessary. I'm going to do everything that I need to be done. What's been taking me a year, what's on my 6-year goals, I'm going to get this done in 6 days. Like that's the type of attitude we need because when you have that type of attitude, the universe is going to give you the right answers on how you can get something done a lot quicker. It doesn't have to take as long as you think it has to take. I know y'all have had situations before where you thought something was going to take you years and years and years and years or weeks and weeks and weeks, or you've been procrastinating on it. You didn't, and when you actually did it, it took 5 minutes. And then you wonder, why in the heck was I procrastinating for weeks on something that I just did finally, and it took me 5 minutes? Anybody ever had a situation like that? Look, I'm telling you, it happens all the time. So I'm challenging you all. I'm challenging you all to walk into that, right? This mentorship is about getting your money right. I'm challenging you this week to walk into it. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. There's too many times that I give y'all a challenge. And I'm giving you a challenge out of love. It's not out of obligation. It's not out of duty. It's out of love because my desire is to see everybody in here be better than they were. My desire is to see everybody in this room win. My desire is to create leaders in this room that's going to take the messages that I'm teaching you and go out and spread it to the masses. I'm not here to just build followers. I'm here to build leaders. That's my gift. My gift is to be a leader who build leaders who go out and change the world. So I'm building leaders. There'd be nothing that would make me more happy but to see you all going out, teaching what I teach, or teaching your version of what I teach in whatever your career field is, and taking that message and spreading it around the world. That's what I want to see. So, but the first thing you got to do, but let me tell you this, but in order to be a good leader, you first must be a good follower. You got to be. You got to humble yourself. I don't care how big your ego is. You got to humble yourself. You might look at me and say, man, he's a good leader, but man, he talks funny sometimes. I don't care. I got results. So humble yourself. I had to humble myself and I had to do things that my mentors have told me to do, even when I could not see how it would work. It didn't make sense to me. I got into one of my mentors' mentorship, didn't tell me nothing about the mentorship. I had no idea what the mentorship even was. I gave the money and I was like, why did I just give this person my money and I don't even know what I'm getting into? I have no idea. Like what you all got, onboarding that you got, I got no onboarding. I got nothing. All I know is that this person has success and I wanted to be around this person's presence as much as I could because some of that success could rub up on me and I'm going to figure it out. Even without an agenda, even without, step-by-step instructions, I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to be successful because I put myself into a position where I can be around this person. But some of us are so focused on, oh man, this court is getting on my nerves or this or this. And granted, you still need to learn the technology, but you're missing the bigger picture. The biggest picture is this. It's the people that are around us. It's the people who you can now reach out to for help. It's the people who you can now support. It's the people who you can now serve. It's the information that's rubbing on your mind every single week, and you may not even notice that your mindset is changing until you're faced with a situation, and then the words that we say on these calls bounces into your head. It's that peace that passes all understanding, knowing that you're on your way, knowing that your path is about to change. So what I need for you all to do is to actually do the work. This week, we're in a short week now, between Tuesday and Monday. I want to see some massive action. I don't want you all to keep coming back and say, no, I didn't do that. There's people that's in this room right now. I'm not going to say any names because I love you all, but there's people in this room right now that's still been working on the same thing week after week after week and haven't shown any progression because they always are overthinking it and they want perfection. But perfection isn't the goal. Progress is the goal. So I want to see people taking a step to make some progress. One of the first things that you can do is actually fill out that financial calculator and get that on our record so that we can help you. And then after that, you haven't already, get those 6-year goals. That is the foundation, the clarity. The foundation is everything. Reach out to somebody for help. If your situation is unique and you need some help, reach out to us. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised at how many people I personally step in and call and help. If I feel that I can actually help them and find a solution. But so many people never even tell anybody the problem that they're having. So I'm not a, I'm not a psychic. Well, actually, I do have psychic abilities. I take that back. So I'm a life path number 11. And they said I have psychic abilities and sometimes my intuition. But most of the time, I can't read your mind. Most of the time, I can't read your mind. So if you let us know, we can help you. Too many people are afraid to get help. They're afraid to ask for help. And we got to humble ourselves and say, I need help. I need help. It's people who don't want to be embarrassed. They want us to think they have it all together. Let me tell you where growth comes in. Growth comes from vulnerability. Like if I could tell you I did a 8-figure year, if I could tell y'all that I had to go through so many things, and I didn't just wait till the battle was over. Those of you who have been in the mentorship, I was telling y'all about the challenges as they were happening. I was telling you the first person who got let go. I'm letting y'all know the whole thing. I didn't wait to the victory because I knew the victory was already won. The victory was already won. I just had to take you out through the progress because I knew I was going to come out on the other side victorious. I already know who wins. So I'm not afraid, even when I'm going through it, in the midst of it, to give praise and to give thanks. And also to let you all know what's going on because it's just going to be a testimony. And why do I have to wait until the testimony is over to give my testimony? Part of the testimony is the faith that I have. So Anyway, y'all, I wasn't supposed to talk that long, but hopefully y'all got the gist of what I'm wanting to say throughout this message. I'm really wanting you all to go for it. So at this time, what I'm going to do is I was going to teach a lesson on finances, but I'm just going to move with the spirit on what it's telling me to do. We're going to start on that next week. But what I do want to do is open up the floor to any questions or comments, any breakthroughs, concerns, or anything. I'm going to open up the floor, hit the hand raise button, and we're going to take some Q&A, and I'm going to teach you all throughout the midst of some Q&A. All right, let me see. All right. We got Hayes and then Trina. What's going on, Hayes?
How you doing, Marvin? Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. Yes, sir. I just wanted to share a quick testimony. I know, like, you asked me, how did I end up doing this? And I don't know if you remember, I kind of told you I said I
Mm-hmm.
said a prayer, and never seen you before, you popped up in my timeline on I think it was Instagram, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw that a lot of the people that I followed, financial people that I was following, they followed you. So that was a bit of confirmation, and there was one confirmation after another. So I just wanted to share with you this past week. Um, what I did, I retired from the military, got into DJing. It's kind of a passion of mine. I did start an LLC with it. I wasn't looking to make a ton of money. I just want to, um, entertain people and make a few bucks here and there. But now I'm really taking a serious second look at it and say, hey, maybe I can turn this into something that can be something, be some serious additional income. I have my retirement. Um, so now I was looking to sell some equipment because I'm like, okay, I need to free up some income. I got some debt on purpose for tax purposes. So I financed a lot of the equipment. But I'm like, you know what? Let me sell some of this equipment, free up some income flow, and redirect it into this. So I posted some setups. I have like 4 DJ setups. The most expensive one is the one I'm really trying to sell because it's going to free up the
Mm-hmm.
most monthly income. So I had somebody say they were interested. We set up a place to meet and everything. And it's all set. And literally like 2 minutes, we were supposed to meet at noon here in Kentucky. I'm close to the Kentucky
Mm-hmm.
border on the Tennessee side. 2 minutes before, I was gonna message them and let them know I was at the location, and it said I can't, you can't message this person. I'm like, what's going on? The guy left the chat, so they kind of pulled out at the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember there was a time I used to get discouraged and I used to get upset. One of the things I told my wife about this, I say I've done other programs, I've tried other things, but when I used to do them, I used to stress. I said for some reason I have a peace about this. I said I've had this peace since I decided to join the group. Ever since I made these steps. So I had a peace about that situation. I said I'm not gonna get upset. It's gonna work out. It's gonna be okay. And when I got home, I checked my account and I had extra $1,300 in there. So
Mm.
yeah, yeah. So and I said, you know what? Because I was praying. I was on my way home praying. I said, Lord, I know you got me. I know you're gonna make a way for me to, kind of free up this income and redirect it where you want me, where you want me to, where I want it to go and achieve the things that I'm trying to achieve with Marvin in this program. I said, I trust you. I said, I'm not even gonna trip. I'm not gonna get upset. And so
Mm-hmm.
lo and behold, I'm gonna pay off the second most expensive set up, and it's gonna work out. So I'm just saying that to say you really spoke to me today by about having that inner peace and about how to accept those challenges and not get
Yep.
upset about them. You know what I'm saying, and not quit. So I just wanted to say I
Yes.
appreciate what you shared today, and just wanted to let you know that was on this. For me that was confirmation. So I do appreciate that, but you just let me know
I
even
love it.
further that I'm making the right decision to team up with
Absolutely, y'all. This is it's spiritual battles that we fight. It's not just financial battles. Some financial things that we deal with are spiritual battles. So we just got to overcome those spiritual battles, and we got understand who we really fighting this battle and fighting this war against. Once we understand that and we realize that, hey, the money isn't ours anyway. We're just stewards of it. We're just finding a way to be the best stewards that we can. That's when things are going to start turning around. Once you give up ownership and give up control, you gain the freedom. So good stuff. What's going on, Trina?
Hey Marvin, I just wanted to say, back a couple of weeks when I first started, and I had that drifter mentality, and I was like, I'm done. I don't want to do this no more. And you was like, can I use you for an example? I was like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was
Well,
like,
she's talking about you. I talked about this in one of my insurance classes. So some of y'all may have not heard it, but go ahead, Trina.
yeah. So I was with that. I was like, JD, I'm done. I don't want this. I'm retired. Computers are not my thing. So I say that to say I just recently got my new laptop, and I was kicking and screaming against technology. But it's so funny because this morning and this weekend I got it somewhat set up yesterday. But it's been fun now. It's like things are happening. Just like I'm like, how I get to that point? How this happen? But it's fun now. My change your mind, you change your life, right? So I changed my mindset, and it's like instead of it being like dredge, it's like I'm like eager to like, okay, I'm gonna do this today, I'm gonna get this downloaded today, I'm gonna get this program out. And so it's fun. And I say that because when you're manifesting things, I had a 1984 Acura Legend, and I had it for over 20 years with over 500,000 miles on it. So when the engine went, I went out, I was looking for a car, and then I got frustrated. And I was like, I'm going home. And then I say, God spoke to me and said, God, lead me to what you want me to have. I turned my little truck around in the middle of the street. I went to the car lot down the street, and I was just looking up and down the car lot. And I was like frustrated because I seen the salesperson right. I'm like, oh, dude, don't come bug me. And then I saw a vehicle at the end. So I told him, I said, hey, what is that? He said, that's the Audi AAL with the presidential package on it. I said, I want that. He looked at me, and by the time I got home to call USAA, all the paperwork had been cleared. It was just, everything went through, and it was effortlessly. And like you said, when you let go, it's effortlessly. And so I just wanted to thank you for uh just staying positive, for pushing us. Uh, being a leader in the military, I ain't let my soldiers back down. But you just brought that out of me because when I retired. So I thought. So then when you popped up, your website popped up on my page, I was like, let me try this. And I just say it's how God works. And now it's like,
Hey.
don't even worry about it. What you worry about? You spend that kind of money, you don't even know what you're spending it on. So what? So now this is,
Yep.
so yeah, I want to thank you
Look,
for that. And I
I
just
don't
really,
need to know. If I
I
told you
enjoy it.
everything you was gonna have to go through after giving y'all money, y'all wouldn't do it.
Yeah, and it's not even about the money. For me, it's about because I like talking to soldiers. So my mind, I'm thinking, oh man, when we finish this, and because I remember when the military hired Susan Garman, although she went bankrupt, uh, and
Yep.
talk to soldiers. When I get through with this, me and Marvin and the team go on another little journey because there's a lot of
I love it.
soldiers out there.
Thank
So
you.
thank you.
Thank you, Trina. I always love hearing from you. We got Nalita. What's going on, Nalita?
I'm gonna be honest. I probably might need a little bit more technical help than a lot of the people. I'm not that good with technology stuff, and so I want to do the financial freedom. I really want to do the financial freedom thing because I actually got some passive income. It was going real good, and I kind of, when if your mindset's not right, and that's what I love about you, that you're teaching that we have to change our mindset because you can get a lot of money and mess it up. And I started messing up, and I'm like, before I get to the point where it's all messed up, I need help. So we joined this group, and I love it, but I don't really understand how to download it, so I don't, share everything publicly. And so
That's okay. Let's just first off, let's so let me show y'all the image really quick. Um It's going to help everybody in the room today, no matter who you are, no matter what you're going through. Hold on. So I'm gonna pull it up, but of course when I want to pull it up, my phone died. But I'm gonna pull it up in just a second. But let me explain it first. First off, we got you. This is a place where we support you. Be vulnerable. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to that's all okay. However, what I want you to realize is that there is three things, right? We can be worried about the past, feel like guilt and shame from the past, or have our mind trained that this is how it's always been for me, and our mind revert back to the past. We could be anxious about the future, like, well, what if I can't do this? What if I don't do this? What if I don't do this? And then what it's doing is suffocating our present. So fear is one of those things that really suffocates us because we're either focusing on what we haven't been able to do or what we fear that we're not going to be able to do, and we miss the moment of now. There's power in the moment of now, that from nothing, right now, I can be a new person. I can change whatever hasn't been the case. I can create whatever I want to create and be the captain of my soul right now. So let me show y'all this picture. So I'm reading this book, and I highly recommend. I feel like I recommend a book all the time, and I know y'all can't read all the books I recommend, but this is going to be for somebody. If you feel that you're battling with anxiety, if you're battling with fear, if you're battling with wondering if you are enough, or if you truly have the ability to handle it, if you're battling with any of those things, then this book is life changing. This book is called Love is Letting Go of Fear. That's the name of the book. Love is Letting Go of Fear. And it's all about how to release fear and just accept the present and just accept what's possible for yourself today. In this picture, this image, if my light doesn't mess up too much, you can see, can you all see that picture on my phone? So you see this person, you can't see it.
Go back a little bit.
Somewhat.
How's that?
You can see it now. You can see the top part now.
Yeah, I just want the top part.
Yeah,
That's all I want.
yeah, we can see it real good now. Yes.
So they're talking about past guilt and future fear. You see what that's doing with the present? You're so worried about the past guilt and the future fear. Look at how this face looks. Look at the anxiety. Look at the worry. Look at the sweat and the tears and the anxiousness. But look at this picture. Love is letting go of fear. When you tell your past and take dominion over that, and also you're not worried about the future, and you have a peace that passes all understanding, and you're able to be still and know that there is a God, all that's left is love. You see, fear isn't real. Only love is real. But fear clouds love. And you can't do both at the same time. You can't fear and love at the same time. So you got to choose one. So the most important person to choose is yourself. When you choose to love yourself, you're going to give yourself a little bit of grace. You're going to give yourself to say, you know what? I haven't done great at this before, but I'm not going to speak that into my life now. It's going to be fun. Like Trina said, I got into it. It's going to be a joy for me to learn these things now. And I'm going to have fun with it in the present. Every little milestone that I accomplish, I'm going to celebrate that little milestone. Even if I learn how to type a word on Excel, guess what? I didn't do that the week before, so I'm celebrating that little step. We thinking about how can we build a Colosseum in Rome when all we got to do is lay the first brick. That's what the book said. Every day we're going to recognize the next step and the next, and we're going to celebrate. That's the important thing. We're going to celebrate that small step. Yeah, I know y'all might be some tech wizards. Some of y'all might be tech wizards, and you might say, I don't know nothing about tech, but guess what? You talking about this big micro PowerPoint, pin, whatever. You talking about all of this. But guess what I did? I learned what a formula was today. And I'm celebrating me learning what the hell a formula was because I didn't know what it meant the day before. So I want you to do that. We're going to celebrate every small step. All right, Nalitha?
Yes, sir, I receive it. My kids used to call me technologically challenged, but I'm getting past that.
No, you're no longer technologically, I can't even say the word. See, you're no longer challenged. I'm just going to skip it. So you're no longer challenged. Like sometimes we just accept things just because it was in our past. It's people who just show up who were used to showing up late. So you start telling people you show up late again to something important, and then you just saying, well, that's just how I am. That's just no, the hell it ain't. That's you repeating the same story in your head over and over. Just because you've been a certain way don't mean you have to stay that certain way. But you take dominion over it and you call into your life how you want this new version of you to be. We got to wash away we got to remove old wines to make room for new wine. And this is what we're doing right now. All those old belief system, all those old things we used to tell ourselves, we're clearing it out. I want y'all to do this. If you're not driving, don't do this, Shannon or Elijah. Don't do this. You drive. Was it Ija? Don't do it.
Yes,
So
it's I.
we go mentally take out these old toxic mental beliefs that we've had in our head, and I want you to mentally visualize yourself pulling it out. Just pull it out of your head and throw it in the trash. Like it literally no longer exists anymore. You are literally getting free from all of the worry, all of the pain, all of the anxiety, all of the unforgiveness, all of the bitterness. You are literally freeing yourself from that right now, pulling it out of your head and yanking it out. Whatever you got to do, you throwing it in the trash can. This is right here. It's a mental thing, but like some of y'all can feel that energy just releasing from your body. It's shifting out of your body right now. You no longer have to walk in that anxiety. You no longer have to be in that pain anymore. We no longer have to be in that guilt. We no longer have to be in that shame. We don't have to do any of that. We are free. So I want you to take that freedom and make room for it. And now I want you to do something great because you have the mental space and the capacity to do it now. Right? What's going on, Lawan?
I want to say that what you said really resonated with me today. I've gone through the exact same thing that you've gone through in the past year, having to reestablish myself as a character on my org chart. I had to stop the traveling. I had to stop the speaking. I find the cracks in my own business. It was almost like a mirror of your experience. And I was like, wow. I'm not so alone as I thought.
Right.
It's been eye-opening. It has been eye-opening. You're absolutely right. Sometimes you do have to do the paperwork to really understand where the holes are so you can get back to the lifestyle and the choices that you felt that you worked as hard to attain.
Absolutely. But Lawan, I promise you, you're going to look back on it. You're going to be so thankful, even though it's a bump in the road and it's frustrating and it's like, you feel like you're giving up some of your life. You're going to rebuild better than you've ever. You're never going to have you. Like, I know you to know that when you rebuild this the way that you want to rebuild it, you're never going to put yourself into a position where this can happen again.
Exactly. Exactly.
So that means your overall business is just going to be stronger. You're going to attract more investors. You're going to attract better leaders because all it's doing, Lawan, is forcing your leadership lead to grow. And as your leadership grows, guess who you attract? You attract stronger leaders into the organization. And when you attract stronger leaders, guess what happens? It frees up your time. And it really makes you that person who don't have to step back into the business again. So all it's doing is you just elevating yourself so that you can elevate others. That's really all it is right now. You just teaching people are watching you. They're watching to see how is Lawan going to respond to this person who's acting this way where there's a lawsuit involved and they're trying to put you out and take you to a different place, even though this is the place that showed you all the results. And now they're putting you into the middle of nowhere watching for you to fail. And then when you show them that you don't need that location, the location is great, You needed LaJuan. You needed you. There's something about you that no location can give, and you're going to make that location the most successful location on the planet, and you're going to get that other location back. But people going to see what you made of, and that's going to attract people who they never wanted to attract to you. You're going to be attracting competitors that's going to see you and hear about what you're doing, and they're going to want to come and say, what do we need to do to work for you? It's going to happen.
Beautiful vision. Thank you.
Absolutely. What's up, Shayna?
Hello, wealth creators. Happy Tuesday. I just had a comment and like just a thank you. So I was doing the module last night, the 6-year planning, and I watched your video of you going through your actual 6-year plan that you created back in 2014. And I just really appreciated it because even like the points of be specific, like, so for example, I started my entrepreneurial journey like part-time back in 2016, doing like MLM stuff, but I wrote out different visions. Like I want to be fully retired from my 9-to-5 by 28, right? So technically I did retire by 28 from my 9-to-5, but then I jumped back in the game at like 31. So it's like not being specific. So that resonated a lot with me. But yeah, so I just appreciated you being so transparent. And then also, it's my last point. Last night I had a dream of me retiring again from this current 9-to-5 that I'm in. So it was cool seeing the spirit being aligned with the current vision, and it just let me know that I'm on the right track. That is happening in the next, maybe 2 years or so. So it gave me more, just more like, okay, great, we're doing the damn thing.
Right.
So thank you.
No, you doing, and thank you for watching that video. I highly recommend y'all watch that video that I did when we talked about the 6-year plans. Watch the whole video because it's really a powerful message that happened to me when it came to goal setting and being specific. I mean, that's literally 90% of your battle is to have clarity and know what you want to do and where you want to go and actually document it, write it down, visualize it, manifest it, say it, hear it, smell it, taste it, whatever you got to do, see it, whatever you got to do to put that in front of you because it's so crazy. The secret, people always want information, but I cannot, and my job is to give you information, but I cannot tell you how much information is probably the 10% of what it's going to take for you to be successful. It's only 10%. It's really learning to master the mindset. But if I promote it to you all, hey, you all, we're going to teach you mindset. Nobody's signing up for the program, right? But mindset is really the key. It's being able to know that you're not alone, like LaJuan just said. There's other people going through what you're going through. There's people who've experienced what you experienced. Your spirit aligns with other people. There's words that are powerful. You can speak things that are not as though they are. Your mindset can literally create things. Your subconscious mind can be reprogrammed. Like you can literally watch subliminal messages in your sleep and you won't even know what they're saying. You can read what they're saying, but you won't hear anything, and it's going to affect your mind because there's something powerful that even when we can't hear the words, our subconscious mind will still work for us. Some of you know it as the secret. This stuff really does exist. So some of you know it as the secret in the universe. Some of you know it from the same scriptures that are in the Bible. But those are the things that's going to make the difference. You don't have to know the details. You just need a definite plan. You just need to know where you want to end up, and the details will come to you. So anyway, let's see. We have Saran.
Hello, thank you. I wanted to say, I joined in April, I think the first cycle. And to your point earlier about being specific and limiting the amount of time you have to get things done. Since April, I probably got more done just knowing that, hey, I got to put something in Discord that says moving the needle forward than I have in quite a while. I mean, I was real productive before, but it's really helpful knowing, hey, people are looking to see hey, did you get anything done towards your progress? And that little bit just keeps compounding daily. And that's been very, very helpful. And then making a decision that this is it, this is the way we're going, and putting the structure. And something you actually said on Instagram, you were talking about people have the employee mentality. And I said, I'm going to use that to my advantage. And I'm going to put some structure around what I do with my business. I'm going to block the time. So if I'm not meeting with clients, then I'm doing something at the CEO level in my business. Because if I know that that's already my hypnotic rhythm, then why don't I use it to my advantage instead of it always going against me, if you will. So I literally have 2 schedules from 8 to 5 and then from 6 to 11. It's like, all right, if it's not 11 o'clock, what else can I get done for my business before I go to bed? So this is the schedule so that I'm always doing things to move the needle forward.
Awesome.
I just wanted to
you
share
working.
that.
Congratulations, Saran. You being an inspiration to us all. So keep working.
Thanks.
All right, Shiva, what's going on? We'll take Shiva and then we'll go ahead and close us out.
Okay, yeah, I'll be really brief. Yeah, I truly appreciate every single word that you have shared with us today, because it's so timing, because I know God is all in his because half of the people that I worked with were recently terminated, like Thursday. And of course, knowing that there's never, and you sent an automatic email went out to, you sent the very same day that this termination happened, where I am, because I'm a contractor at NASA, and yeah, they had a lot of that budgetary cuts, and they just going through the whole agency at different centers, just terminating people. And you sent an email came to me from you this about 3 o'clock in the morning that same day that all this went down at my center. So yeah, definitely seeing the shift that's taking place and embracing the shift that's taking place, and being a part of the, P2, coming in through P2P, it's just really, really helping me to renew my mindset, and you've been very instrumental in that. So I truly, truly appreciate you, and just wanted to say thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Shiva. And let me tell you this, and this is kind of the mindset I wanted to help the rest of my team who were standing behind, because the morale can be down. Some of when you lose 50% of anything, some of those people some of those are your friends. They was like, oh my God, not Betty. You know what I mean? She's been with the company for this, and it immediately starts. We can go into sense of sorrow or pity and feeling bad for the other people and empathy. But I'm just going to say this, and it's okay to feel empathy, but if it didn't work out there is a better plan for those individuals. And if it doesn't work out for you, if something happens where you get yours cut, it'll be
or I
hard.
want to be out of here before that happens. So
exactly, you want to take control of it, right? But
right.
but my point of it is, if you take too long, it might be something where you forced out, and then you learn, and then you have to figure it out because you would take it too long to work on God's plan. So, but in on the other sense, it can be an opportunity to say that, man, it's 50% gone. If they didn't cut you yet, that means that they're looking at you as an A player. And if they're looking at you as an A player, that means there's further opportunity if you choose to within that company, and it was being blocked because of some of the people that were there. Because one of the things that I realized is that in the workforce, A players don't like to be around people that are not A players. B players and C players will actually bring A players down, and then management has to choose on, do we want to risk losing our A players, or do we want to lose our C players before it impacts our A players? So if you're on a team and you're an A player, that means they see you. And that means I would, this is an opportunity to show what you can actually do, whether you decide to stay there or not. We're going to still keep working as if we, because we're there to serve. You're there to serve the people who you choose to work for and work with. So let's show what we can do, and let's look at it as an opportunity. You don't be the person that's complaining or hearing gossip or all of that. You be the person that's encouraging everybody, that's standing behind and saying, look, I don't like it, but I'm sure there's a plan. And let me tell you, we got an opportunity to grow and really take this thing to another level. And they're going to see you way beyond a contractor. So with that being said, y'all, I appreciate you all. You all are great. I love having these conversations. Go ahead.
Your 5-day challenge, I signed up for your upcoming 5-day challenge in June. And I wanted to know, are there any PDFs or workbooks for VIP participants? Because I haven't received any emails about it.
You don't get it yet until the challenge starts.
Okay.
But yeah, you will have, when it starts, you will get a whole portal that you can sign into the portal. And then when you sign into the portal, it's going to be all of the replays. It's going to be the workbooks. It's going to be background. It's going to be all of that stuff. It's going to be in the portal. So just be patient, hang in there a little bit, but you're going to get all of that.
Thank you.
Yep. But you all, definitely appreciate you all. Who wants to take us out today? Any volunteers, somebody who don't speak a lot, or I'm going to pick on somebody? You know what? I'm not going to pick on anybody new today. I want to hear from Coach Rosie today. Coach Rosie, if you will speak to the people and take us out today, definitely would appreciate it.
Hey guys, at the end, when I get ready to count to 3, you can unmute yourself and we'll all say dominate together. But this has been such an awesome meeting. I so appreciate Marvin, all the great knowledge that God has instilled in him that he then pours into us. I say to each and every one of you, it doesn't matter where you start from, just make sure you start. Change your mind, change your attitude, and you are going to change your life. So thank you, Marvin, for such an awesome meeting today. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. But certainly, we look forward to reading all of what you're accomplishing in Discord and for the team in UpCoach. Let's count to 3, and we're going to say dominate. 1, 2, 3. Dominate.
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 Dominate. Be great.
Dominate.
Dominate.
Make moves this week, y'all.
See y'all later. Appreciate y'all.
Yes,
Have
sir.
a good one.
Thanks, Marvin.
Blessings.
Thank you all.